Good morning. It is Monday, January 12th. And yes, good morning, Carlito. Welcome. Today I had a couple different things I wanted to talk about. One is something that I just kind of found a little interesting, which is Trump weighs potential military strike for intervention or on Iran. This whole thing comes back because this is something I want to talk about, and I kept putting it off. There is a big big protest going on in Iran right now because of the government and the failing economy right now, all the struggles, which these struggles started with the war that, Trump was one of the wars Trump was going to intervene and stop, and instead helped genocide millions. But yeah, he's doing this to protect protesters, telling another government, if you guys, decide to do any sort of attack on your protesters, we're going to put you down. Which is kind of funny because, in this country, we have protesters, and he wants to put the protesters down, and he approves of his armed thugs, his terrorist group, killing protesters and assaulting protesters. So it's kind of ironic. But here we go. Tehran, or if you're dyslexic, the Ran, is still reeling from a 12-day war launched by Israel in June. The economic pressure, which has intensified since September, when the United Nations reimposed sanctions on the country, is over its atomic program, has sent Iran's currency into freefall and is now trading at over 1.4 million to $1. This has the people very upset. Since then, the government has actually done an internet blackout. I'm not sure that's back up. I can't find any updates on if it's back up. But yeah, the people are pissed. And I mean, rightfully so. If our government did this to us, if they decided to be like, you know what, screw you, no more internet unless you're going to Twitter because Mecca Hitler says we should have Twitter still, we would be pissed off too. But it's just shocking that Trump wants to defend protesters in other countries while putting his own country's protesters down. But in response to all this, Iran's government has come back and been like, hey, if you guys come and try to do an attack on us, there will be a response. So basically, it's Trump poking another war. And that's not going to be good for anyone. Because in that crossfire, who's going to die? Those same protesters that Trump said he's trying to protect. Like, there's no way they're not going to be caught in the crossfire. Our military likes to go in, and what we've seen from when we go to other countries is they just shoot at anybody who moves. Yeah, there's sometimes we do good and we protect some people, but there are still mass casualties. It's not good. It's not a good thing. I mean, yes, I respect Trump for saying, hey, don't screw with protesters. Wish he'd feel that same respect here. But at least the baseline of what he's saying is good. So I'll give them some partial credit for that. I do not think protesters anywhere should be assaulted by their government, because they should have the right to protest no matter where you are. That shouldn't just be like a country right, something that your country has to say, like, it's constitutionally protected in our case. It should just be a thing that's like, hey, you're a human, you are alive, you should have the right to protest. Now, burning down things, that's where it gets a little sketchy, which there are people who want to peacefully protest, and there's people who just want to burn everything down. It gets a little messy. I understand there's issues there, but still, overall, protesting should be a human right. But yeah, it's It's going to get bad. It's probably going to stay bad. The more we get involved, probably the worse it's going to get. And yeah, there's the Cheeto and Queef getting on a plane. Yeah, there are concerns inside the administration that the military strikes could backfire and undermine the protest. So at least there's people in this group. You think they will strike? That's what they're looking at doing. They're absolutely looking at striking, which is bad. It's only heated up over the past week, getting closer and closer to where we're going to do something. It's probably going to be another thing where we find out at some stupid hour in the morning that, yes, the administration went ahead and decided to do a strike on another country again. It's not going to be anything that's prepped. Congress is going to have no say in it because Congress and Senate don't matter to him. It's just whatever he wants to do. So I hope these voices inside the administration can get through to him and his thick skull and hopefully keep Hegseth from doing something stupid, because Hegseth's not a good person to have pulling a trigger either. Not a very level-headed person. Yeah, it's most likely going to get worse before it gets better. I do hope these protesters know where to go to be safe if the U.S. does get involved. But since we have no way of reaching out to the protesters and being like, hey, by the way, we're going to be doing this now, they are 100% going to be caught in the crossfire. And that's sad. Other innocent people who are probably just at their houses, trying to eat dinner with their family, are also going to be caught in this crossfire. And it's absolutely disgusting. It would be nice if there were leaders in this world that thought, let's think about the people, because the people are what's important. We are not a country without the people. But nope, we can't think that far. We can't have people who are level-headed in office of any country. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. But I do have one more story, which is what I think the more funny one. Give me just 1 second. Pull my screen up. So during the 2024 election, one of the biggest bases of support, most vocal bases of support, were the podcast bros. And basically, the main group that watches these podcasts are young white men. And, well, Trump is now losing these people. Back to this view. This is by the Daily Beast. A damning poll reveals why Trump is rapidly losing young men. And this article, it does a decent job. It touches on topics. It misses one small thing, which is a very big kicker in this. It does mention that, it's his favorability among young males is now standing at 46%, down from the 56% in spring of last year. Now, one thing they point out is hey, the tariffs. Yes, tariffs suck. They don't just destroy it for, us. It destroys it for the whole world. It screws over every country's economy when we have tariffs start playing games. Also, if you live in this country, these other countries do not pay the tariff. These manufacturers are not the ones paying the tariff. You are. That charge will always get passed down to you. Yes, they initially pay it, but that same company is going to be like, well, we're jacking up the price an extra X percent. That way we don't incur any of the cost. It'll be passed down to the consumer, despite what any dumb orange person says. But yeah, it's his policies in general that they call out. And then they're also talking about the attack on Venezuela. Most people are not cool with that. most people in this country are not cool with the way ICE is doing their things, especially after what happened in Minnesota last week. People are not okay with that. The majority of the country does feel that the douchebag who committed murder, the ICE agent that decided to go out ahead and just trigger happily kill someone, should be arrested. There should be a punishment there. But going back to the whole Venezuela thing, Trump's then been talking about, we're going to take over the country. Oh, also, we're going to be taking over Greenland by force if we have to. Oh, and hey, there's Mexico. We should just take over Mexico by force. If Canada doesn't want to join us, we'll take them by force. Oh, Greenland's owned by Denmark? I guess we'll take over Denmark by force. And yeah, the U.S. does have a pretty strong military. We have a lot of military power. But can we have soldiers enough to take over a country in each of those countries? I mean, Mexico is a pretty damn big place. Plus, you're going to have the cartels to deal with. Canada has its own military. So, I mean, you have to have enough people to match their military. Denmark has a military. I mean, they have all of NATO. So if you're going to take over Greenland, Denmark, you need to have enough people to take over, like, fight against NATO, which is all those other countries' militaries. So how do you do that? I mean, oh, no. I'm just saying we have a strong military. I'm not simping to the military. Our military is disgusting. I want to cut. I want to cut hardcore. But to match it, we need to have people, the same amount of people to match. We don't have that. It was the same thing if we went to war against China. We don't have enough people to match their military. Like, at all. So one way we would be able to get that is the draft. And that's a thing that scares a lot of people, especially young men, because they fall directly in that category of like, oh yeah, definitely, you're being drafted. And we haven't had a military draft in years. But we do, or since 1973. But we do have something called the selective service, which is something when you turn 18, you have to register for it. Well, Trump signed a document late last year that starting December 18th, 2026, you no longer have to go out and sign up for this. It's just automatic. You turned 18, it pulls your records from Social Security, and boom, you're signed up for the selective service system. Which that does mean if they do need to have a war and they do decide to start a draft, you're in. And that has people worried. Especially because we have someone who's trying to be trigger happy, who's trying to start multiple wars at once. Yeah, a lot of places are talking about doing the draft. That should have people across the world terrified. We should not need drafts. The fact that it's coming back up is very scary. That's a sign of, hey, every leader knows World War III is right around the corner, because that would be the situation where these countries need a draft. And we see, I'm sure everybody sees, the person trying to provoke World War III currently is Trump. Trump wants to start World War III because he probably wants to call it Trump War, because he has to have his name on it, even though it's going to lead to the deaths of hundreds of millions of people. And it's terrifying. But people don't understand that we've had selective service system in the U.S. for years. And seeing now it's going to be automatic, which truly, I will say, it being automatic is a benefit to those people. If you don't sign up for this, you just lose the ability to ever get Social Security. You can't get any school federal funding grants. You kind of screw yourself out of a lot of things. And you could spend 10 years in prison and get a fine. So, I mean, it's partially beneficial, but also scary at the same time, because now it's automatic. Like, oh, yeah, they have my information. They're going to sign me up right away. So, I mean, I had to sign up for it when I turned 18. So, I mean, it's nothing new to me. But for people who don't look outside of the first 10 seconds of a thought, yes, it is very scary. But also, you look at Trump and you understand this basically does mean it's going to be a draft. And so, it sucks. Luckily, I'm outside that age range because it's 18 to 26, I believe. So I won't be drafted. That's damn fine with me. But yeah, he's going to start World War III, and it will start a draft. Also, on Discord, I think it was Friday night, I posted the whole thing about Trump got out of all of these EU organizations or UN organizations, wherever the hell they were. And a bunch of them focused on kids. And Republicans like to push kids into these very dangerous jobs. And one can only assume what they're trying to do with that, if you tie it in with the whole talk about draft recently and the whole selective service, automatic sign-up shit, is if there is a draft in this country, they're 100% going to push minors into a draft. Because think about it. All these kids from like 12 years old and whatnot, they play Call of Duty. They play Fortnite. They're always shooting each other. I mean, that's what war is. You're a character with a gun who's shooting people. So obviously these kids who are playing a video game understand what real war is. So if Republicans don't push minors into a draft, should Trump start up World War III, I will be shocked. I mean, given they won't have their kids go because their kids are precious and worth something. But if you're not a millionaire, your kids will be drafted. That's my take on it, though. I could be completely way off base on that, but they want kids to do dangerous jobs in these red states. So why wouldn't they want them to go out there and get shot for them too? Because these are kids that don't have money. If they're working these dangerous jobs, obviously they don't have money. We've seen Republicans say, oh, I've been working a job since I was 5, which is complete bullshit. But, they try to act like they had a hard life when they never have. They're just scumbags. That's how it goes. But yeah, there's a big fear of the draft that has young men scared, and I don't blame them for being scared. If I was their age, I would be terrified too. But that's just another reason to, one, not support this douchebag who's trying to start World War III, but also to get vocal about the fact that nobody should support this douchebag. You should apologize to everyone for bragging about how great he is in the first place. This is the same generation that also talks about how great Hitler is because he was a great leader. He's a smart man. He cared about his people. No, that's what a populist says they do and they care about, but they don't. It's all to trick you into thinking they're the right person. They're full of shit. They don't care about you. Trump doesn't care about you. He wants your money. After that, he's like every other company. Companies just want your money. They're not someone to put your faith into. Because in the end, once you don't have money to give them, they don't care about you in any way. And Trump only thinks like a company. Except for, he tries to bankrupt everything and companies usually try to keep making money. Yeah. That is that. He's losing support because of his wars. And people are terrified of a draft. Nobody wants World War III. Even though this whole thing just looks terribly staged. I can't get over how the fact that that's just... Every sign points to this was a staged operation. Maduro took it. And they just tried to make it look big. Shot some innocent people. Yeah. Also, here is your weekly reminder. Don't forget about the Epstein list. The Epstein list is still a thing we need to talk about. 100% need to keep talking about. Because we've let them get away with the fact that, one, they disobeyed orders where they were supposed to release those documents and explain every single redaction. They just didn't do it. And in response to that, they said, oh well. And that was it. Just, oh well. It's very, very important to keep that going. Oh, yeah. Mark Epstein wants to get another autopsy done because there's no way that dude hung himself. The dude was killed. And their camera view showing, oh yeah, nobody went in or out, as we show the wrong door to make you focus on the fact that, hey, nobody went through this door here, so obviously nothing happened. Nobody was out during this time, yet your own video proves, oh yeah, there are people out. You can see people walking. It's ridiculous. In the door where he is at, you can see an orange sleeve pop around for a second. Dude did not hang himself. And we cannot let that go. We cannot let them go, and the fact that they're just lying to us to protect a pedophile. Other countries understand he's a pedophile, and that people have known he's a pedophile for years, and the people still support him. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. He is one of the worst figures in politics ever. He's single-handedly destroyed this country with his populist talk, which got people to fall into a cult of, like, it's just a cult. It is a cult of personalities. They think he is God, and he is the worst thing. He does not do anything to support you. If you support him, he does not care about you. He thinks you're dumb. He's said it many times. I love dumb people. He loves the poorly educated because the poorly educated will follow him. They won't do any research to understand that everything he wants will screw you over. It's dumb. It is dumb. I don't understand this country and how people vote for that. It's shocking. There needs to be something to also regulate elections better. One, get rid of the Electoral College. That's got to go. That's just a dumb system that makes absolutely no sense because it allows them to go against what the people want. We need gerrymandering to go because that's just a way to rig elections. Like, yeah, it's kind of funny that Gavin Newsom, in response to Texas's gerrymandering, decided to gerrymander. Ha ha ha. But the fact that both sides did it is scummy. It should not be a thing. I am 100% for the popular vote. We still take track of that. Let's stick with that. But then also, full, fair elections. Make sure there is no way to rig shit. I mean, Republicans did a great job of making people think, oh, the 2020 election or whatever it was rigged. And it wasn't. It wasn't. There's been no signs of it. But then we let the Republicans and some people get their hands on these machines to look into them. And then we saw weird voting behavior, like actual stats you can see in the 2024 election. Plus, you have Musk involved, and I don't trust that bastard at all. At all. And his reaction to the election before the votes came through is terrifying. Unless he was just high on drugs and walked out of the room saying something stupid, which I can definitely see because he's always high on drugs and he constantly says stupid things. But yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. We just need fair elections with ways to verify things. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. And we need Mike Lindell to not win Minnesota. That'd be another thing. Anyways, that was really all I had for today. A little bit of a ramble at the end. But I thank you guys for showing. And yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, hopefully with something more entertaining than Trump being dumb. That would be nice. That would be nice if that wasn't a topic for a day. Oh yeah, Jesse Ventura. Yes, Jesse Ventura is going to win everything. He should win every state. Like every state. Yeah, you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.